Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and thanks for coming to spend a little bit more time with me again. I want to start today's show off by sending my condolences to Charlie Kirk's family. What a very tough thing for them to be going through, and prayers out for them to, be able to make it through these hard times the best that they can. Such a tragedy. Um, but anyway, I switched up how I'm doing the show. I figured I'd put a little bit more structure to it. So I want y'all's opinion. Tell me what y'all think about this new lineup on the show. We're gonna break it down into chapters, 4 different chapters, with an intermission in the middle. That way we can try to organize this up a little bit more, make it more presentable. As far as the show, more show worthy. But anyway, y'all, let's get into it. You know how we start this off? A little bit of motivation. Come in this house happy. All right, let's get it
The
going.
most honest life lessons no one talks about. 1. The day a blind man sees, the first thing he throws away is the stick that helped him all his life. Growth means letting go of what once served you. 2. Sometimes you have to suffer in life, not because you're a bad person, but because you didn't know when to stop being good to the wrong person. Kindness without boundaries leads to self-betrayal. 3. One of the biggest mistakes we make is assuming other people think the way we do. Empathy requires clarity, not projection. 4. You can't change someone who doesn't see a problem with their actions. No amount of effort can replace someone else's awareness. 5. The greatest thing you can give yourself is freedom from what others think. Peace begins the moment you stop needing approval.
All right, y'all. Now that we got that good old motivation, let's jump on into the show. Let's do it. Welcome to Sax Reacts, to this theater we call the world. So step inside and enjoy the show. Chapter 1, Unexplained. Y'all, if that was real footage, that was definitely trippy, wasn't it? Hell yeah. Let's go.
I want to queue up a video that I've been given. And as before it starts, I'm going to describe. This was taken October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. That you cannot see that drone, and so I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does. This is when it zoomed out, so you can still see it traveling. So, Mr. Knapp, do you have you heard about events like this occurring? And what information might you have?
I have heard about events like this. I have heard about this event. Jeremy Corbell and I talked about it in one of our episodes a while back. We did not have the video, though. There are servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally, some of that stuff gets out in the wild and it comes our way. It should be going to you. You know, the public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
So again,
Live like America bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Have y'all been seeing the paranormal activity in the hood stories? So I'm listening to a couple of these stories and people talking about how they had sleep paralysis and some things moved around the house and, you know, they saw figures and like a lot of like crazy stuff. One person was even saying that somebody that she knew, she was walking down the alley. She was walking down a real bad alley, you know, trying to get home. And she was by herself and she was like drunk. And this person that she knew, like, you know, walked up to her and she was like trying to dap him up. And he didn't like dap her. But he was like, where you going? You know, I'll walk with you. So they walk to the end of the corner. She gets home. And then when she get home, she find out that the person who was walking with her was OD'd in the alley. So this person was like not alive, but guided her through the alley, this dangerous alley. The reason why I'm talking about this topic is because a lot of people were talking about their experiences and how, you know, they never want to go back to the house, or, you know, they just felt like this eerie, like they was haunted. It was a bad experience. And, you know, they just had all of these bad dreams. What I'm reviewing from all of these stories is that, like, when you move into a house, it's a spiritual assignment. Houses, lands, buildings store energetic imprints. When you move into a house, you don't just occupy the space. You are literally entering a relationship with the energetic memory of that land and structure. And your family getting accepted into that house and being called to that space, certain homes, neighborhoods, that's not random. And that's the spiritual assignment, because wherever you sit your energy, wherever you've placed your energy, and this is where your space, this is your home, this is where you land your energy in. You don't have experiences for no reason. Them bad dreams, your ability to see the ghosts, your psychic gifts activating. This assignment of you settling your energy in this space, you're literally healing the ancestral wounds tied to that land. Sometimes some of y'all is being trained by the spirits of the place that you're in. This one girl, she was talking about her experience that she lived in this house for like 20 years. She was trying to figure out how can she banish this energy? How can she like deal, like she just kept getting harassed. Like some dreams she had where she was like around these 3 witches and they was like doing something in the basement and the spirit was trying to mess with her while she was like, it was crazy. Her being in that house that long made her have to think about learning how to protect herself and understand her psychic gifts, understand her connections to her ancestors, because she couldn't set up an altar in the house because her mom was Christian. Like I said, souls are often called to certain neighborhoods and certain homes for a reason. I'm not saying I know everything, but for what I've experienced in my house, I just want y'all to see the bigger esoteric pattern. Don't forget that you are a vessel. What is in your energy is going to show up in your life. So when you're noticing things are happening, you're experiencing dreams, or your psychic gifts are activating, I just want y'all to understand that automatic response of not knowing everything and the things that you don't understand, you go to fear, and then you stay stuck in that fear and you continue to recycle that fear. You're feeding the energy that you don't want to experience. Because this specific house or this specific experience has activated something in you, don't get caught up in the hamster wheel of the house. You are there to transmute it. Experiencing something new, your logic brain is going to get you into a state of fear. But this experience, this house, this energy in this land that you have come into is pushing you to grow. So some paranormal experiences are less about being attacked and more about being initiated into a lesson.
Wait, so did y'all see how Katie Santry had the whole TikTok glued to her page yesterday? Mind you, she posted a video 3 days ago. She said, yo, I think my house is haunted, because she woke up and her computer was broken. All right, so if you didn't know, she went live yesterday. She was digging in her backyard, found a rug that was halfway in the ground. Jokingly, she like, yo, there must be a dead body in this rug. So you know, once people seen that, it went crazy. People start telling her, yo, listen, dig that up. Dig up whatever it is in there. You know what I'm saying? Let's see it. You already know how TikTok is. So everybody realized it's too difficult to dig up. So she called the police. So she like, do you want to come to my house and look at a rug? They came into the house, saw the rug. It was nothing. So they left. So you know how TikTok is. TikTok still telling her, yo, forget that. Dig that up. So they was going to have a BYO shovel party. Like, bring your own shovel and let's dig this up together. TikTok, y'all crazy. And right before that, the homicide department called and was like, yo, listen, let us come over here and let us bring these dogs over here. Let the dogs put some work in. So the homicide department bring the dogs. Everybody is online, like 100,000 people in her live. So the dogs come, the dogs go to the spot where she was digging at, and the dogs sit on the rug. You know what that means when homicide come and them dogs come and you know what that means. If it ain't on your FYP page, you live in a hole. Listen, search Katie Santry. Just click the magnifying glass after this video right here, and it'll take you straight to it. Cause
that was a fun little interesting suspense saga watching that. I suggest you jump on that little rabbit hole, go check her out, because that was pretty cool to be. It was really like some real live, real TV, way better than the real world, because it was actually real and streaming live. It's pretty cool. Check that stuff out, y'all.
Ocean, you saying the currents have reversed. Y'all also said that Earth's core has slowed down and it seems like it's moving backwards. Y'all just now figuring out that Earth has a heartbeat. Seeing more proof of frequency surges. And now y'all saying that Earth is spinning faster than it has ever spent. Now floods is happening. Volcanoes are erupting. Cats are gathering in strange places. The sky is looking pink at 9 o'clock at night in Atlanta. We saw another glitch in the Schumann resonance. Texas, New Mexico, North Carolina, all of these different places that are going through floods. I just want to get this straight, right? Okay, so water has always been cleansing. It's an element of memory, cleansing, transformation. It's a portal. Somebody I reacted to on my YouTube channel has said the tides have literally turned. People are talking about timeline jumping. And if you notice, floods occur during times of energetic buildup. So what does it mean when the tides turn and the currents reverse? What we see every year is a sign of an overwhelmed energetic grid. We know in America, right, the land, the energy of the land, the memory of the land has spiritual fractures all over the place. From slavery, indigenous erasure. Like 8 months ago, I really dug into the structures that they built on top of Native American burial grounds. Now, just to put another surge in your thoughts, would you say that when you are transcending, you're going in the process of transition into the afterlife, your body goes back into the earth. So your body, your flesh becomes one with nature. Anybody remember when Moana grandma became a stingray and she just came one with the ocean? When burial grounds is disrespected, ancestry is disrespected, the lineage following the ancestors has been disrespected. The blueprint of American soil built on disrespections. And things like this have happened all over the planet. Correct me if I'm wrong. When the tides turn, it means a reversal of fortune. Meaning reversing a situation. What y'all are seeing is the tides turning. Water is alive, and it is an elemental spirit. And when that element comes through and cleans and washes away things and brings new memory, new remembrance, they said that with all of this happening right now, this is causing the Antarctic glaciers to melt. The memory in that water is coming. Come on now. The remembrance, the restoration of emotional and energetic equilibrium is being restored. The wisdom, what you're seeing in nature is an echo and a response to what is needed to be done. From what's been unlocking inside of me and what this woman talked about in the last video. The keepers, the guardians, the spirits, for a while they've been in dormancy. And guess what our indigenous family used to do around these times to assist with the cleaning? The remembrance. Let me just give you one example, just to broaden your mind on the connection we used to have to this planet. And this is just the surface level stuff that they revealing to us. Our indigenous communities and ancestors held seasonal ceremonies, council meetings to restore the balance, seek protection, communicate with nature spirits, align with the earth and thank the earth, play music, dance with the earth. They understood that changes produced in nature and even people are results of the movements that happen with nature, with the stars, with the planets. They believed that the rivers also believed to help carry the souls of those buried in their ceremony on their next incarnation. This is where we begin reconstruction of the territory. Water is a pure element. Only with water the ancestral spirits can travel. The river carries it in all our information and all our spirituality. So when you see waters overflowing on land, what do you think that means? Is it clicking to you that colonial and Christian forces labeled spiritual practices demonic? They literally did witch hunts, trying to eradicate any practice that has something to do with connecting with the earth. So these practices that were trying to help transmute the energy, strengthen the nature, the ley lines, the earth's grid, the harmony with everybody. So as I'm observing everything that's happening, these are my thoughts.
I'm the CEO of the Department of fucking Common Sense. And Common Sense will tell your stupid ass there's no way they giving the motherfucking rover from Earth to Mars that's 127 million miles away, according to NASA. That motherfucker 127 million miles away. You mean to tell me that motherfucker didn't hit shit on his way there? You mean to tell me that motherfucking rocket didn't need no maintenance on a 127 million mile trip? Why our cars break down? And if you could control a fucking rover from here to Mars, we should be able to be on our fucking phone in the garage. We should be able to not lose service in the elevator. Stupid motherfuckers.
I'm the CEO of Common Sense. But was he lying? Was he lying? No, of course he wasn't lying. Think about it, y'all.
What if I told you that the source code of reality isn't just a metaphor, but has already been glimpsed even by ordinary people in a controlled experiment? A man named Danny Goller set up a very simple test. He gave volunteers DMT, the most powerful psychedelic known, and then, while their minds were cracked open, he shone a laser beam through a diffraction grating, a way of splitting light into interference patterns. Over 1,000 people took part, and almost every single one reported the same thing. They didn't just see colors or hallucinations. They saw symbols, letters, characters, glyphs, consistent, repeatable, like looking at code through a keyhole. And here is where it gets strange. The symbols weren't random. Some looked like Japanese katakana, others resembled runes, hieroglyphs, or machine language. Different cultures, different backgrounds, but the same pattern, the impression of a hidden alphabet. And what if these were not hallucinations at all? What if the DMT lowered the firewall of the brain and the laser provided the signal that let consciousness phase into the field? Think of the ancients. The Egyptians said hieroglyphs were God's writing. Kabbalists said the Hebrew alphabet was the blueprint of creation itself. Hindus spoke of bija mantras, seed syllables that generate reality. Every tradition whispers the same thing, that at the bottom of existence lies language, a living code. And even Christian scriptures preserve this memory. The Gospel of John begins, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." But in the original Greek, the word is logos, not just word, but pattern, order, code. So then, in the beginning was code, and through it, reality was written. So here is the wild theory. The universe is not just matter, it's not just energy, it's an information field. And under the right conditions, such as a frequency shift, a chemical unlock, or laser interference, the brain stops seeing the movie of reality and starts seeing the script that runs underneath. Not philosophy, not myth, not religion. A practical hack. And if this is true, then Danny Goller's experiment is not fringe. It is the first controlled glimpse behind the curtain. The code has always been there, carved into temples, whispered in mantras, hidden in myths, and even encrypted in the Bible itself. But now, science may have cracked the door. So here's the question for you. Was this a one-time anomaly, a hallucination dressed up as symbols, or have we just seen the first leak in the simulation firewall, the code of reality itself?
Have you guys seen any of that stuff that he's talking about from Danny Goller? That where he's got the lasers and talking about, showing how you can see like code. Like it was weird. I don't know if they were like doing DMT or shrooms or some psilocybin or something like that. I mean, I don't remember exactly what it was. I just know it was really hot online about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And but it was very fascinating. Y'all should check it out, what he's talking about. It's very, very fascinating.
There was a cyclone at a Mayan temple the other day, seen and recorded by hundreds of witnesses. You know, them Mayans were one mysterious group of people. Yeah, mysterious.
What do you know about black holes?
We are going down a path that is far from my area of expertise. Thankfully, there's a lot of scientists and big brains that are out there thinking about these kind of things. But black holes is what happens when really big stars eventually die. You basically have such an extreme amount of gravitational influence that not even light can escape from it. But then Stephen Hawking figured out some things do escape from it.
What escapes from it?
Hawking radiation, actually. It's named after him. Basically, whatever is consumed inside this black hole will slowly, over some extraordinary period of time, gradually radiate out of it, and the black hole will disappear like it was never there.
And that, my friends, concludes chapter 1. Now we'll be moving on into chapter 2, conspiracies. Enjoy.
Welcome to Church's Chicken. You guys want some greasy-ass chicken and dry biscuits? Well, you came to the right place. Come inside.
Here it is. Greasy-ass chicken. The box sucks up a lot of it, so it's really not too bad. Our cooks are always mixing things up. No, like seriously. Guys, don't let the camera see that.
You would think people would want to take better care of themselves, but they don't give a damn. They probably don't even know what MSG is. I mean, look at this stuff. Whoa, guys! What the hell is that? Oh my god. It's a damn chicken demon from hell. Why do they call this place Church's if they have a deal with the devil?
At Church's Chicken, the grease is eternal, and souls are the secret ingredient.
We will feast.
I love those brain rot reels, y'all. On TikTok, y'all got to follow them. And I put this in the conspiracies chapter because, I mean, the stuff they talk about is the conspiracies about what's going on with our food and all that stuff. But it be real, be super real. You got to have blinders on to act like that's not legit. I mean, obviously, maybe no hell chickens, but what I'm talking about as far as all the bad stuff that's going in our food. I mean, hell, even as far as what our meat is. I don't even think we know what our meat is half the time, to be honest with you.
Mark Zuckerberg is about to spend $50 billion on data centers. But don't worry. He's definitely not doing this to control you. No. He's just doing it to make your life easier. He's definitely not building AI superbrains that can predict your every move. He's definitely not creating storage vaults for every photo, message, and biometric trace of your life. And he's absolutely not preparing a digital empire where the metaverse becomes the new land you pay rent on. Of course not. This is all just for your convenience. And those billions of dollars in servers consuming the energy of small cities? Definitely not about securing power contracts and owning the infrastructure of tomorrow's world. Just helping you share memes faster, right? Because remember, when billionaires invest tens of billions, it's always for you. Never for them, right?
We are slowly getting rid of all seeds in fruits and vegetables, which is a really cool thing for us. Because once we have all of the seeds and everything you buy is seedless, then we control all of the crops, all of the growing, and then we can make seeds incredibly expensive so that only billionaires can have gardens. It's a really cool way for us to have a firm grip on all of the imports and exports of food inside society. So look for more seedless everything coming to you all the time.
So for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been saving seeds, tons and tons of seeds. Well, for the last 3 years, I grew all the vegetables for my restaurant, but I recently moved a few months back into a new place, and I don't have a garden here. I don't have a place to have a garden here. So this year I didn't grow all my vegetables, but the last few years I grew everything for my little spot. But I'm saying that to say this: I've been saving seeds for a while, long time. So when I get out to the country, I'll have all my seeds put back because of these very kind of reasons. I suggest y'all do the same.
Good morning, or God morning. There have been multiple folks who are coming to the channel, and as always, we have folks that come and go because they gain the information. Potentially, they download the Synergy PDF, which is full of documentation from our National Institute of Health, the National Institute of Science and Technology, the World Health Organization, bioelectromagnetic algorithms, Google Scholar references, and there's literally only one page in which I tell you that you're going to have to believe in electronic warfare, and you're going to have to deal with the fact that we use wide body area networks, and that would be BAN right here, past the nano. The 6G low PAN is right there, your personal area network, and as you can see by the circles, the 6G low PAN encompasses the BAN, which is your body. And see, nobody believed this. They didn't know what was going on. And I said, did they tell you they built the stealth bomber? Did they ask your permission? No. And why is that? Let's see. Applied research and development that's secret? Oh, we don't have that. As a matter of not just strategy, but actual industry. Oh, no. When we're doing an advanced research project, we just tell everybody and we ask your permission first. Hang on, let me look through history. Let me see if I can find that anywhere. By corporation, government, people competing for things in academia. Oh, okay. So that means that DARPA will go ahead and do stuff and then they'll let us know later. Just like a corporation, just like academia. Oh, okay. Here we are again. So there's your intraban. And then your interban, talking to other computers, equipment, people. And then it becomes, yeah, but only in the hospital. If that were the case, the tech wouldn't have worked in the first fucking place in the way that it needs to at the industrial level. And then here's your industrial Internet of Things. And this is your quantum steering with biophotonics, sensors, gig architecture. So when we get to the point that we have to show people pictures like toddlers, because if I don't show you a picture book, then you don't understand because you choose not to read. Then, well, could you change your tone of voice and could you put makeup on and could you do your hair and could you say it nicely? Sure, no problem. This is the International Standards for Electrical and Electronics Engineers. That's what the IEEE stands for. It says right there, IEEE standards, right? Yeah, an association. And inside, right there, IEEE. What is wrong with you this morning? Maybe it's just me, but it looks really hazy. The IEEE. And I said Zigbee and Bluetooth 802.15.4 are the biosensors themselves. Right there. Okay. And then you tell me, oh, but it's only in the hospital. So I take you right here. Sensor nodes, communication link. There's the ultra wideband. And here's the radio frequency sync and by number and the link. That's not enough. Because you're still telling me that they're only looking inside of you, they're not actually using human body communication through human tissue, and that they're certainly having it secured and, nobody else can see you. And I said, no, that's not how the engineering works. That's not how the routing works in between the bodies or the machines or the AI. That's not how the machine learning works. That's not how the algorithms work, and that's not how the smart grid works. So here we have hybrid IEEE 802.15.6, which is the body itself. Body area network. There it is. Here's where you can go read about it. Okay. Excuse me. What is a body area network? What does it do? What can we do with it? Every single thing that you read right here. Vital signs, disability assistance, muscle tension monitor, respiration monitoring, speech disability, etc. Since 1995 for testing, and FCC mandated medical body area network, meaning when you're in the hospital. Since when? 2014. Then I tell you it's wireless drugging, AI precision healthcare, nanotheranostics, and electroceuticals. Well, without being able to look at the photons inside of your body non-invasively, we don't have that capacity to execute those services for the IEEE of life sciences. Those are your electronics and electrical engineers inside your body parts with something called biophysics, biological physics. Now, what do we do with physics? Shear stress, temperature, and mechanical motion. Yeah, inside your cell structure at the nano level, the millimeter level, like they've been practicing back in Vietnam. Right. So here's your National Institute of Health, and what we say here on the channel about this page, it's from 2007. There. Biophotonic tools and cell and tissue diagnostics wirelessly. Oh, they don't really pay 45 grand for a toilet seat. No, they do not. But instead, they have different types of optical coherence tomography. And here's where, in the same article, we talk about changing your DNA in multiple ways. On and with radio frequency narrowband. There's your medical implant communication system and the new human body communication. Next page. Human body communication at the physical computer network layer with our brand new polaritons and I always say that wrong, plasmatrons. This is what I keep thinking. This is your terahertz nano resurfacing at 1 atom thick with the graphene, and then the light, the photons coming in and out of you, as well as the ones coming around you in that industrial Internet of Things, ubiquitous, pervasive, ambient computing, for example. In other words, a body area network can set it off. You could be breathing it in. We have different vectors that we use on your skin, and that's not just a wearable thing. No, it's the biosensors that are in you by DNA analyte derivatives, different types of cells, and then the biosensors create themselves from there. Excuse me. So then, if we don't like what's in you, we resurface your cellular structure 1 atom thick with the graphene. Welcome to the Internet of Nano Things, the Internet of Bodies. And just to make sure, because too many people don't know about, thanks to its ability to support surface plasmon polaritons waves in the terahertz band. Biological to digital and digital to biological means that we can make a biological change. Welcome to your terahertz band. That changes physical cells in the body electrically. Because your body is electrical. And that polariton change, we were learning about this last night at the university with plasmonics. And I took everybody to a video on the Odyssey, and I'm like, oh, look, we can change the electromagnetism. No problem. Bioelectromagnetics. That's for algorithms. Oh, the body electric. Tufts University. Dr. Michael Irvin. Synthetic biology. Regenerative medicine. Biomedical engineering. Terahertz. Biological to digital. Then the twin digital computing. Yeah, we got a digital copy of you. Make a change, your smart grid will get it done. And if it doesn't, We can send a drone or another body in your house or your dog and bounce the signal back and forth. And this is where everybody goes, oh no, that's crazy. And then I have to sit here day in and day out reading to people because they are too lazy to read and they need pictures. So here's a picture of the same professor in 2018. More IEEE electronics and electrical engineers inside of, well, who's that? Wireless tissue engineering, biomedical engineering. What are you looking at? Computer networking through the human body. Okay, now you're going to tell me, well, but they can't read my thoughts. The neuronal loop is closed. We've had synthetic telepathy for a long time. It has market share. So for those of you that are still confused about that, just Google synthetic telepathy and Google it on the YouTube.
So for any of you who don't know who Sabrina Wallace is, I highly suggest you look her up. She's incredibly intelligent, very well read, very well spoken, and she always brings the receipts. And she covers a very vast amount of topics and information, all related to relevant things that's going on right now that most people will just think is science fiction or fake, not really happening. This is the stuff that's really going on. I mean, from all the 5G towers that put up on every corner to your smart meters on your house, all of this stuff. And she covers a lot of those topics in grave detail with all the receipts and even patents and all of that. So you gotta open your eyes out here, people. Got to.
So if the Earth rotates around the sun once a year, and in that one rotation there are 365 little rotations, representing 1 day per little rotation, equating to 365 with one large rotation, and 365 divided by 28 is 13. So you mean to tell me that we could equally split a year into 13 equal months, and every month having 28 days? The beginning of the month starts on a Monday, the end of the month ends on a Sunday. And hold the phone, because you're telling me that September, sept meaning 7, is the 9th month. October, oct meaning 8, is the 10th month. November, nov meaning 9, is the 11th month. And December, this decagon is 10. But wait, what if the end of the year wasn't in December? What if January was actually the 11th month? Because December would be the 10th, November the 9th, October the 8th, and September the 7th. So January becomes the 11th, February the 12th, and March is the 13th, the last month of the year. And the beginning of the year would be the spring equinox, when everything begins to grow, renew, and life starts to flourish. Wouldn't it make more sense that that would be the beginning of the year and not December? When I found out even our calendar had been manipulated, something inside me snapped. All this time, I thought I was living in order, but the system was built to keep us out of sync with nature, out of sync with truth. If I had seen this book earlier, I wouldn't have been deceived into blindly following man-made doctrines. This book is called Book of Wisdom. It doesn't just talk about calendars, it helps you see how systems, symbols, and even your own body have all been trying to show you the truth from the beginning. I think this book is worth reading. You know where to get it.
And with that, y'all, brings us to the halfway point of this show and time for intermission. Let's roll.
Your bucket list, your grocery list, your list of things to do. You got a list of all your wishes, that's a wish list, dude. You got your Amazon and Santa Claus and Tooth Fairy too. But I know a list that don't exist, and buddy, so do you. It's the Epstein list, it's a mystery list with a twist. It's a myth of a list that we all just missed. Be an optimist, not a pessimist. If you wish to persist, it's probably best to forget that list. Now what were we talking about? I'll remember that I can sleep a lot better at night. Yeah, life can just go along, knowing there's 10,000 hours of sunshine and flowers and nobody doing a damn thing wrong. Hear no, see no damn Bongino, Cash Patel. Well, I wouldn't wanna be a sweating man with bulging eyes. Now tell me them fellas ain't compromised. Any implicated dude will tell you, anybody on the big list knows just how far the folks in charge will go to keep the status quo. So when the war bell rings, the song that they'll sing is a song that we well know. I-oh, so it's off to war I go. Well, they said they's gonna fix it, but now they're all complicit. They-oh, 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 they-oh. So it's off to war we go. Send the poor off to war, what else are we for? They-oh, 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 they-oh.
And that will conclude our intermission. And it's time to head on into Chapter 3.
How horrible to be laying in bed, not able to get out for 7 days while your husband is dead in the next room and no one can help you and no one can find you for 7 days. And the bird starts eating on her husband. So, I mean, I can't imagine what's going through her head for 7 damn days with no food or water. That's horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Mr. President, do not come to Chicago.
I'm gonna come.
And of course, we got to cover what's going on and popping off in Chicago right now.
Guys, troops are here, moving in Chicago, flying above downtown Chicago. You can see these military vehicles, aircrafts moving in there, airborne right now as we speak. Guys, this is breaking news here in downtown Chicago as troops move in.
Is it just me or just, I don't know. It never showed the person talking. You just hear him talking, but does that voice not sound exactly like the voice that the young black dude that made the plastiline? Like, that voice sounds just like that. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. For real.
What the hell is that?
Some transport helicopters, military.
Things are getting crazy in Chicago. Now, Chicago gang members are starting to threaten ICE officials and the Trump administration, warning them that if they step foot in Chicago, they will be at war with the gangs of Chicago.
Troops are now moving down Wilshire. They're headed towards central LA right now. You can see lots of reinforcements and a huge presence right now of troops. This is very big. Wow. Wow, this is really big. You can see, I mean, this is a huge presence.
You motherfuckers
Guys,
have
I'm
no
on the ground
idea
right here in MacArthur
who I am,
Park,
where I come from to get
where
here
you can
today.
see troops
What changed me
and law enforcement. I mean, there is a heavy presence here. This is a lot. You have choppers airborne as well, as you can see. Guys, I'm on the ground right now by MacArthur Park, where you can see law enforcement and troops, airborne police right now. I mean, they are here. They are moving in. This is happening right now. Here are the troops.
Call me crazy, but I think that's a misidentified clip, because since when the hell did palm trees grow in Chicago? I'm pretty sure the climate in Chicago is not going to grow palm trees, allow palm trees to grow. No, I don't think so. I think that's probably California clip mixed in. Somebody put the wrong clip in talking about Chicago. I don't think that was Chicago at all. I could be wrong, but I just ain't seeing no palm trees growing in Chicago. I don't know. Let me know.
So the gangs in Chicago are now saying that if the government gets involved, if they send the troops there, they want everyone to stand up and basically go against the troops. Now, one of the most interesting things about Chicago is just how corrupt it is, openly corrupt. And let me explain it to you for just 1 second. They receive over $800 million in federal aid to go towards violence prevention. You see, if there wasn't violence and there wasn't gangs and there wasn't all this, chaos going on, they wouldn't receive those funds. Matter of fact, I believe they've been recently withdrawn. So that's made them very upset. But the other part to this is that the reason why the gangs are standing up is because they're not trying to protect their families. They're not trying to protect their communities. They're trying to protect the fact that they sell drugs. They are trying to protect their business. They are trying to make sure that they keep these people hooked on drugs. You see, if the federal government went in, if you had the National Guard go in there and start patrolling the streets, that would disrupt their distribution process, and they would not be allowed to sell drugs on the streets, and those people would be arrested. Therefore, it would hurt them in the matter of now they don't have that income coming in, and they can't support their habits, other people's habits, and be able to take care of their families the illegal way, which they've been doing for decades now. And so that's the truth behind Chicago. It's one big, corrupt, non-caring about the citizens of America place. And at the end of the day, the only person that actually cares about these dark-skinned people is President Trump, because he wants to go in there and stop the madness, stop the murders, stop the 5 killings a day, stop the shootings every day. He wants to actually go in there and fix this. Now, everybody's blind and they can't see it, and I get that, but I just put it out there for you. You can go fact-check everything that I'm saying, and it's 100% accurate.
Guys, rolling through the streets of Chicago right now.
To the young men of Chicago, respectfully, find something better to do. Find something productive to do. I mean, play with your friends, not the National Guard. That's just one war you won't win. I mean, sure, you have AKs and Glocks with switches on them, but our U.S. military has snipers that can strike before your brain can even register to rack the slide. I mean, yes, these gangs have very dangerous individuals, yet the military have even scarier ones with resources. But I will say that crime in Chicago has gotten to a point where the criminals believe that they really have a fighting chance. A fighting chance against a military apparatus that could flatten a town with just the press of a button without boots on the ground. The other boots on the ground. You know what I'm talking about. I heard a content creator praising the fact that Chicago has about 100,000 gangs and that Trump best not send the National Guard because these people ain't playing. I mean, all I can say to those people is that the hill you choose to die on? And how's your aim?
Throw a stone, you're going to jail. You put hands on an ICE officer, you're going to jail. You make a threat, either online or in person, you're going to jail. And President Trump has made it clear to me over a month ago, zero tolerance. You cross that line and move from a protester to a criminal, zero tolerance. You will be prosecuted. And Pam Bondi has got all the U.S. attorneys across the nations on board. They will not decline these prosecutions. So my warning to them, you can protest all you want. Exercise your First Amendment rights. You cross that line, you're going to jail.
Now, I absolutely do not like the idea of our military on the streets of America, simply for the fact that I don't want that to become normalized. With that being said, Chicago and some of these other places absolutely got to be cleaned up. I mean, the crime rate is just through the roof. It's just absolutely absurd. But what scares me is that this is the precedence for more of that in more places until military all over the streets is just the new norm everywhere. And I don't like the idea of that. Let me know what y'all think. And now, y'all, we're rolling into the final chapter, chapter 4. We'll see y'all there.
You think this is not Nazi Germany. You don't get to go up to grown men you've never met before and tell them how they can dress. This is America. It's a free country. We have a First Amendment right, and subsequent case law backed up 1,000 times that we can cuss and we can say whatever we want. If you don't like it, change your diaper and go find a different job. You're supposed to listen to us. We pay you. The reason we're here is because Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, Warren Sapp was arrested by your sheriff for having the nerve to speak. He was arrested for speech. And then your sheriff doubled down and said it was his fault that he dared to speak. We come in here and you double, triple down against free speech. You started crying and adjourned the meeting over free speech. You guys obviously have a problem with constitutional civil rights that you swore to preserve, protect, and defend. We drove for hours. We're serious about the Constitution. We are activists, and we got his back. And now he's suing you for $20 million. Is that going to come out of your pocket, or is it going to come out of these taxpayers' pocket? You told him to take off his hat. He said take off your tie, and you turned beet red and got all furious. You don't like being told what to do, either do we. The same respect we show you, you show to us. We have the right to speak, and we shouldn't be locked in cages like animals because your feelings got hurt. The harder you press against us, the harder we're going to press against you. This is not a game. I'm glad you came to your senses and these guys woke you up. Don't make any requests of anyone. You don't like being told what to do, we don't either. We're grown men just like you.
Nepal just did what every corrupt government around the world wants to do. They banned 27 social media fucking apps. And I'll tell you what, the riots, oh, they are off the chain. They are having federal buildings fucking stampeded, burned to the ground, like shit is off the fucking hook. Why would they ban social media? Oh, for hate speech and misinformation. Also known as the truth, the enemy of every corrupt government. Nepal, that's a country of 30 million people. And everybody under 40 is just freaking the fuck out, burning everything down. It's like, fuck the government. Yeah, because social media is what has unchained us from the Matrix. We are the truth. This is where the light started to come out, isn't it? You don't learn shit from the mainstream media. The only thing you go there is to see what they're lying about this week. Otherwise, you go to social media and you figure out what's really fucking going on. So if you think this has got to be the fucking start, I would bet you Canada, the UK, they will be banning social media right quick. And it's not just the news. It is freedom. It is small businesses. How many small businesses advertise through social media? I know I do. And like, that's been a huge change when I fucking started doing that shit. And that is true freedom. Self-employment and that self-responsibility is where real freedom comes from. It is not from no, I'm 9 to 5. You will never find freedom and prosperity at a 9 to 5. You work your 9 to 5 while you figure out your side hustle and what you're going to fucking be passionate and do with your life, where you can take your skills and apply them best. That is true freedom. That is the American dream. That is the worldwide dream. You know? So buckle up, because I bet you they are going to, America already did it, right? They banned TikTok. You think they're not going to come for the rest of them? Yeah. Oh. No, they're probably they like to do that slow boil of fucking frog in a pot. Don't let them fucking do it. Fuck you, you censoring motherfuckers. I hope Nepal just burns their federal government to the ground and ends up with a revolution, get their social media back. To the rest of you, good luck. Long live this beautiful republic.
He who controls the fool's gold controls the fools. If we, as all of the people in this room, if we took our money and put it into a bank, and let's say we put $10 million into the banks, and then they took that $10 million and through this system, magical system called fractional reserve banking that was created through the financial matrix, they can take that 10 million and they loan out 100 million. $10 million of real money is turned into $100 million of debt money. That means 90 million of it is just debt money. It's created out of thin air. When they give you a mortgage on your property, you think that money came from other people putting money into the bank and they loaned it to you. But most of it actually was created out of thin air, and yet you've got to work for 30 years to pay back what they created out of thin air, digitized debt. Does that bother anybody else? When I began to understand this, I'm like, what? They loan us fool's gold, and we have to pay back in real gold. Can you just digitize money and send it back to them? First time I've seen the Wall Street Journal in a year. And I'm looking at that, and they're like, the best minds from the brightest schools are now sitting there. How much money are we going to create and put into the economy to stimulate the economy through quantitative easing, to make it easier for money to flow through the economy? It's something cool that doctorates discuss if you do it for the federal government and the banking system. If we as citizens were say, you know what? Let's tell the government we don't need their quantitative easing. Let's ease it ourselves and let's print monopoly money. You know, produce yourself $1 million, ease the economy, save the world. If we did it personally, we'd all be thrown in jail. They win the Nobel Prize for printing money. We get thrown in jail for printing money. Does anybody see a disparity there? That's because it's the matrix. If you're the ones in control, it's legal to do what you, as a citizen, it's illegal to do. Justice has no eyes. Justice does not see people. It sees it's right or it's wrong. The financial matrix is wrong. When you realize that the debt of the world is not by accident, it's by profit. Their profit is our pain. The American Psychology Association did a study recently, and this study revealed that 72% of Americans go to bed at least once a month worried about money. Over 50% said that they worry whether they even have enough money to make their bills that month. Is anybody else concerned when half the people in the United States of America, because of debt money, no longer have real asset money, and the value of the money changes at the will of those in power? Their statistics say that if you took a dollar bill, put it in a box and buried it, your grandfather did that, you come back 100 years later, pull that dollar out of the ground, what used to be able to buy $1's worth of value now buys 4 cents 100 years later. The financial matrix has siphoned off 25 times your value. It takes $25 today to buy what $1 used to buy in 1913. This is catastrophic. But the financial matrix never rests. Every night you go to bed, the financial matrix siphons off more money from you. It's the most powerful form of control ever created. The fact that more people aren't asking, what is the financial matrix, merely backs up what the movie The Matrix said. They said the system is so perverse that people will fight for the debt system. They will fight to protect the very thing enslaving them. Do you know what's absolutely nuts about the financial matrix? The financial matrix is the only matrices ever created that doesn't coerce people into their enslavement. When you were a slave, you knew you were a slave. They forced you to be a slave. When you were a serf, you knew you were a serf because they forced you to live on the land to protect you from other lords that would attack. But when you're a subject of the financial matrix, you sold yourself into it.
Stop. Let me out. Let me out.
Woo! Did y'all pay attention? Pure gems.
This is a list of countries that have halted shipments to the U.S. over Trump's new policy. United Kingdom, Germany, Lithuania, Czech Republic, Bosnia, Greece, Spain, and Portugal, Malta, Leicester. This list is, and Mexico is added to it. Guys, we're starting to look like pre-World War II economic type platform or format. I'm just saying. You know what's funny? I just made a video talking about how we win. Isn't it funny how other countries tell us how we beat the United States or win against the United States, right? But the American people can't see it. People are going to cut America off, so why don't we cut the corporations of America off? Not know your ideology's not red or blue. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? We're both fucked. We're both in a fucked position. We need to talk, create a date, make a week to 2 ban, or even do it like this. Ban a company a week, individual, and watch their stock prices plummet. Complete bans off the biggest corporations. And I'm not talking about the 7-Eleven. No. I'm talking about the big ones. We don't buy a car brand ever again, or we stand unified. If you show them that unity, they'll start acting and start working on our interests. I'm trying to tell you something. Wait.
Lieutenant Dan just lost everything that he gained from the hurricane. For those that don't know, this man, Lieutenant Dan, became extremely famous during the hurricane. This is because he decided he was going to stay with his boat instead of evacuating during Milton. Now, while he was in his boat and the hurricane was happening, he went on stream with Aiden Ross, and Aiden decided to do something really nice for Dan. He offered him a very lucrative deal to stream, and also said he was going to be getting Dan a boat that cost $100K. Well, now, not even 24 hours after making these offers, Aiden has backed out of both of them because of some things that have come to light about Lieutenant Dan and his past. You see, Lieutenant Dan has a very dark history. He's been accused of things like SA and battery against a police officer. And once Aiden found out about these things, he basically said, never mind, deal's off. Now, Dan is not very happy about Aiden rescinding the deal. He's been interviewed about it and basically said that Aiden should have done his research before giving him those offers. But now, Aiden is not the only person that is upset with Lieutenant Dan, as there are many people that gave to a GoFundMe for Dan, and now many of them are basically saying, hey, we don't want to support you anymore, which makes it seem like Dan's very short-lived career is now over.
Clearly, that's not a good dude. I mean, if that's what his record shows. On the flip side of that, if Aiden Ross made a deal with the man and the man went through on his side of the deal and then Aiden didn't pay him, well, that's a whole nother ballgame all in itself. No. Like the dude said, Aiden should have did his research on him before he made the deal with him. Now if the deal, if they made a deal and then whatever the deal was for didn't happen, then it doesn't matter. But if Lieutenant Dan completed his side of the deal and then Aiden Ross decided to back out of it, which I think he did, because I think the whole thing was about he live streamed everything from the ship from his boat during the hurricane or whatever. So Aiden Ross would have got all of that footage and all that live stream money and then not pay Lieutenant Dan, then that's a problem. But obviously Lieutenant Dan is a problem. I wouldn't want to be backing him up either. Now, as far as all the people going that was sending him money for the GoFundMe stuff, that's different. You know what I'm saying? They definitely should get all their money back because there wasn't no deal made there.
Yesterday, Chrysler notified nearly 800 dealerships that they will be closing their showrooms next month.
Later today, General Motors will tell roughly 1,000 of its dealers their days of selling GM vehicles will end by next year.
45% of dealerships closing permanently. $847 billion in unsold inventory rotting on lots. I'm standing in what used to be Heritage Ford in Omaha, Nebraska, watching auctioneers sell off everything from hydraulic lifts to coffee machines. This dealership served 3 generations of families for 67 years. It survived the Great Depression, World War II, and the 2008 financial crisis. But it couldn't survive 2025. The auctioneer just sold a $25,000 diagnostic computer for $800. Customer waiting room furniture that cost $15,000 went for $200. Even the American flag from the showroom sold for $12 to a scrap dealer who wanted the pole. I never thought I'd see the day, says Robert Morrison, whose grandfather started this dealership in 1958. We survived everything, but we can't survive customers who refuse to buy cars at any price. This isn't just about one dealership. This is about the complete destruction of automotive retail as we know it. And what's happening right now will change American transportation forever. The $847 billion graveyard. But to understand how 45% of dealerships are closing, you need to see the numbers that are destroying the entire automotive industry right now. $847 billion. That's the value of unsold vehicles sitting on dealer lots across America. To put that in perspective, that's more than the GDP of most countries. It's enough money to buy every house in Texas, and it's all tied up in cars that nobody wants. The average dealership is carrying 340 days of inventory. In a healthy market, 60 days is considered normal. 90 days is a problem. 340 days is financial suicide. I'm paying $127,000 monthly just to keep my inventory financed, explains Mike Rodriguez, who runs a Chevrolet dealership in Phoenix. That's $4,200 daily, whether I sell one car or 50 cars. Every morning, I wake up $4,200 poorer than when I went to sleep. Mike's dealership used to sell 240 cars monthly. Last month, he sold 18 cars. His monthly overhead is $156,000, whether he sells one car or 300. The mathematics are impossible. But here's what makes this collapse different from every previous automotive downturn. The cars aren't just slow sellers, they're actively becoming worthless. I'm walking through Mike's lot at 6 a.m. before customers arrive, and what I see represents the biggest automotive disaster in American history. Row after row of 2023 and 2024 vehicles that should be premium products but have become toxic assets. That Corvette Z06 cost me $89,000, Mike says, pointing to a yellow sports car that's been sitting for 267 days. I'd sell it for $55,000 tomorrow if anyone wanted it, but nobody even looks at it anymore. The Corvette represents everything wrong with the current market. It's an $89,000 sports car that gets 12 miles per gallon and requires premium fuel. In an economy where families are choosing between groceries and gas, it's become an automotive dinosaur. Therefore, Mike is trapped in a vicious cycle where his most expensive inventory generates the highest carrying costs while having the lowest probability of sale. But the bleeding gets exponentially worse when you understand what's happening to the vehicles themselves. Cars sitting on lots for 200+ days start developing problems from non-use. Batteries die from sitting idle. Tires develop flat spots. Paint fades from sun exposure. Rubber seals dry out and crack. Fuel systems gum up from stale gasoline. I have a 2024 Tahoe that won't start because the battery died, Mike explains, showing me a $78,000 SUV that's become a paperweight. The replacement battery costs $340, but I can't justify spending money on a car
Woo! Things is getting bad out here, y'all. Real
King
bad.
Jr.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have come to that point in the night where it's about time for those curtains to close. But you know, before I let y'all go, we got to leave this house with some smiles. Come in this house happy, leave this house happy. Y'all know how we do it around here. We got to get some giggles going. So let me get y'all laughing before we exit. Here we go.
King Jr. What'd he do?
He died for sins.
No, that was...
I want to be fucking cold. Oh, give it snowman. Fucking snowman.
What?
Burger.
No, it's not a burger. Don't call him that.
Come on. Can I bring him into your house?
No, you're going to leave him in here.
No, you're going to cook him. I can't go to bed. I'm scared.
What are you scared of?
Scared back broccoli's.
What about in school?
Martin Luther King Jr.
Martin Luther King Jr. What'd he do?
He died for sins.
No, that was...
I want to be pregnant.
What's mommy's name?
Mommy.
What's daddy's name?
Cheese.
I can't say cheese or bacon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lettuce.
Lettuce. What'd you make?
See you next time. On the back here. See you next time. Daddy.
What is it?
Daddy. Did you understand me? That's not funny. Mom, that's not really funny. Mom, do you understand me?
Yes. 2, 3.
Hey! That wasn't very nice. That wasn't very nice. Can I do it to you? Fuck off, you fat pig. Fuck off.
Excuse me?
Fuck off.
Excuse me?
Fuck off.
Who's on this candle?
Dumbledore.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Happy birthday!
She like noodles.
No, she don't.
Mom,
I want you to put that on the... Oh! You ain't sorry.
Yes, I knew it wasn't gonna be black.
Oh my goodness, y'all. If you want the most authentic smiles and giggles you could ever get, always go for some kid videos, man. They're pure, innocent, funny. But anyway, y'all, we have come to the end of the show. Remember, this world is just a big old stage full of actors. So keep your eyes open, keep your ears peeled, and keep that head on a swivel. I love y'all. Thanks for being here. I'm out. Peace.
Kingdom last year when it was leaked to the media.